Hello everyone! Today I'm looking at Wembley Central, events at Wembley Stadium, and yet again, the Bakerloo line. We're continuing the theme by looking at Wembley Arena events and using it to further support where trains should start and terminate at the northern end of the Bakerloo line. Also just because I thought this was interesting. Or maybe not. Stick around to find out. In the previous video, I talked about the northern end of the Bakerloo line and made a case for re-extension to Watford Junction. Whether that was convincing or not, I'll let you decide. I mentioned how Wembley Central can get crowded after events at Wembley Arena and how the low frequency of trains makes it take longer to clear crowds. I've coincidentally been on a southbound train arriving at Wembley Central about 3 or 4 times just as an event at Wembley has finished, and I noticed something. The Bakerloo line is often seen as unimportant, but in reality it plays a crucial role clearing crowds into central London. Wembley Central is served by both the London Overground's Lioness line and the Bakerloo line, each providing 4 trains per hour, giving a total of 8 trains per hour. The first interchange for both lines is Watford Junction, where a fair number of people get off to change to the Mildmay line. When the Lioness line train gets to Queen's Park, a significant number of people transfer to the Bakerloo line. The train then continues towards Euston, maybe about 1/3 full. I assume most passengers are heading to Euston. On that occasion, a Bakerloo line train from Stonebridge Park came into Queen's Park and picked up all of those passengers transferring from the Lioness line. This is exactly why Stonebridge Park trains don't make a lot of sense from a passenger perspective. Starting a train just 1 station short of Wembley Central isn't ideal. Once the train fills up at Queen's Park, many of them get off at Paddington and a few new ones board. But here's where things get interesting. Here's a diagram of routes into central London from Wembley Arena. A lot of people who take Chiltern Railways from Wembley Stadium station into Marylebone station then transfer to the Bakerloo line, making it a critical service for onward journeys. At the next stop, Baker Street, the same thing happens. The line collects more passengers. Some might have arrived from the Metropolitan line, or possibly some passengers from the Jubilee line as well who wish to go via Oxford Circus, Piccadilly Circus or Charing Cross. Most people get off at Oxford Circus, Charing Cross and Waterloo. By the time the train reaches Elephant and Castle, it's usually much quieter. This pattern is similar for afternoon events too. So, what's the point? The point is that this gives insight into which Bakerloo line terminus points are the most useful. The core section is the busiest. Based on this, starting a portion of trains from Queen's Park still makes perfect sense. The next issue is that Wembley Central needs flexibility to increase its train frequency, so operating the regular off-peak service trains from Watford Junction and perhaps supplementing the service with extra trains starting at Harrow and Wealdstone could accommodate the demand north of Stonebridge Park during peak times without having too many trains going to Watford Junction. The train service I would change would be the Stonebridge Park service. I would want to continue these trains to Watford Junction. So a northbound service based on the current frequency of trains could be something like 8 trains per hour to Queen's Park, 8 trains per hour to Watford Junction, and have additional trains for peak times and events start at Harrow and Wealdstone. This might all go out the window with new trains in the future, but what do you think? Does it sound reasonable? Let me know in the comments. Many of you have asked in the comments, what happens to the Lioness line? And what about enabling level boarding? Come back for part 3 to find out. I also wanted to say thank you to everyone who watched the first video, commented, liked and subscribed, or even shared it. I didn't expect that much interest considering it was only the first video. Thanks for watching, and if you liked this kind of video, please subscribe for more.